Today we're going to talk about performance anxiety and trading. Stay tuned, traders. We'll be right back. G'day traders, I'm Stacey Burke from Stacey Burke Trading. Today we're going to be talking about performance anxiety and fear of trading. So you take some trades, you back test your system, you get some losers. At first you're okay to exercise your stop losses. It's part of trading. You've studied that in your course, or you've studied that in your learning. You take some losses, you take a few more losses. And then you're sort of starting to get a bit irritated because, hold on a second, how come when I first started to trade, I wanted to make some money, but all I seem to be doing is losing money. So you work harder at it, you study harder, you get together with some friends, you're exchanging ideas, different trading ideas, different scenarios. You're talking on the phone. I got a buddy of mine, we talk on the phone every single day about bar by bar, we go through price action. You get into live time, and it's never the same as what you've been studying or what you've done in your back testing, and all of a sudden you've got analysis paralysis. You're not sure it's a signal, but you don't want to take another loss, so you hesitate, and then boom, the market explodes and takes off without you. Or you get caught into thinking all of a sudden when you're on live time, you're like, hold on a second, I think this is going the other way. So you jump in the other way, and then a few minutes later you realize that you're actually the trap trader and your original trade hypothesis proceeds without you. I honestly don't know how every individual out there can deal with their own performance anxiety. I can only tell you what I do to try and simplify my approach to the markets each and every day. It's an ongoing process of working on myself. It's an ongoing process of, I talk about the 7-step daily routine for high performance traders. If you haven't done so, go to my homepage, download it, use it as a blueprint, create your own high performance daily routine. Trading is a performance activity. I think you constantly have to be pushing the boundaries. You have to be reviewing your best trade setups. You have to reinforce your psyche, the simplicity of your approach, and that indeed when these markets do move in your trade setups, don't be surprised because they may move quickly. My trade approach is all built around the London Open and the New York Open, and I know that first hour the market is either going to be a trap or a trade. And I know that usually in London, most of the pound pairs will do on a false break or just a slow move, 25 pips. So it gives me plenty of time to get to break even. But on average, when the market's going to move strongly, most of my trade setups, my best trade setups are 50 to 100 pips. So I like to look for those trading opportunities, and at the same time, I've trained myself to be patient and accept that when that trade setup isn't there, to come back for the US session, because most likely I'm going to get a second opportunity for some sort of trade, either a pullback trade or a range reversal or something if I stay up that late. So how can we get over performance anxiety? I think performance anxiety comes from a few things, and it comes from stress, maybe from not having the confidence, from trading your system through thick and thin. One of the things that I did that I talked to people about is I went to micro lots, and I forced myself to trade every single day on London Open, Asia Close. I forced myself to trade regardless of the setups, just with a micro lot, to get myself in the headspace of hitting the trades, ideally looking for the best trade setups out of the different pairs, and then when to move my stop loss, keeping track of my stats of how much heat I was taking on a trade, how many losses, how well did I manage the trade throughout its fruition to its profit target, all those little things that I just hammered into myself over and over and over again, and I still do that even when my best trade setups aren't there. I'll still use a micro lot to trade because I want to make sure that psychologically I'm in the game, I'm following my rules, but also I'm keeping my skills honed to implementing my strategy. So it's one thing for being off the screen, going through your data, going, I would have taken this trade, that's simple, I would have done this, I would have done that. But do you have a mental checklist or something where you write some of your rules down and you force yourself to get better? And I want to accelerate my learning by forcing that, by forward testing my trading. And so that was what I wanted to do, and I still believe in doing that because I want to build size and get my stops down to the smallest increment that I can in terms of managing my risk and hopefully expanding my risk reward setups. You know, performance anxiety to me is so if I wanted to get my trade size up to a certain amount, a really sizable amount, how can I handle that heat if I haven't bulletproofed my confidence through multiple experiences, not on the size and the dollar amount, but of watching that price action? So when I get my signal on my hourly chart, I go to my 5-minute chart. I want to look for certain patterns. When I've got those momentum trades set up, I go to my 5-minute chart and I know where my levels are, and I'm going to hit that trade, and I know what my maximum stop loss is. There are certain setups that I want to see on the 5-minute chart. So when those things aren't showing up, I know I need to step back. And I've learned that through experience. And you know, trust me, I've talked about blowing up small accounts, but I've also been hammered day in and day out to know, like, you know, one thing I learned from Al Brooks's course, I never, ever, 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 ever go against the moving average until I have a reversal, okay? So a reversal to me, like yesterday on the pound yen, we had a fantastic breakout at the Asia close, London Open. It did a measured move. And then in the third hour of the London session, it had a small bull candle on the first candle of the hour that immediately reversed. They had an announcement at the half-hour interval, but it was the perfect exit point for a long trade. Now, if you were going to trade that short, in my book, I would have got out prior to the news, and it would have been a 30-pip move that was over in about 10 minutes. Prior to the news. The news did indeed spike out the highs, but again, I've learned that through the pound pairs that, you know, when I was trading these, I watched the spikes. They spiked out both ends of the trades. And there's little things that, again, I just accelerated my learning. I think one of the hardest parts for traders to do is to use a micro lot and get in the habit of just execution and process, and using that as a statistical monitor of where you're at and where your skills are at. But doing it with the headspace of using larger parcels of money. So, you know, waiting for the candles to close, not getting in early. Like, I don't know how many times I've watched, you know, bear traps and bull traps where they hang a candle down low and it looks like it's a breakout or it's going to go on a run, and then in the last 30 seconds it runs back up inside of the candle and reverses. Just little things like that you really can only learn from screen time. But I really believe that is the only way you can get over performance anxiety, because performance anxiety is caused by stress, and stress is caused by uncertainty and lack of confidence and fear, you know, hope, greed, all the emotions. Those are the things that will destroy you. And that's where the 7-step daily routine comes in. I think it's imperative that you bulletproof your mindset, not only through listening and programming your brain, but through your action steps and through, you know, pounding the pavement day in and day out, placing the trades, knowing where you've messed up. Like, I keep that daily report card of myself, you know, only because I know I've stuffed up so many times. I need to go back and go over, why did I make these mistakes? How can I get better? What did I do well? Where am I improving? Like, one of my biggest areas that it's rock solid is I know the maximum stop losses I can handle on any given pair during the day. And the reason why that's imperative, we talked about this in other videos, the 1-hour stop, the 1-hour stop. I can recover from a 1-hour stop, whether that's 10 pips, 12 pips, whatever time frame. I can recover from that if my average trade expectancy is 3 or 4 hour. And that's why it's critical. I just know I wipe the trade right away. Especially when you get to start pushing size, you have to be confident in your ability to just get over the loss and go on to the next trade. Now, some of the things I'm working on is that if I'm caught into a trap, or if I realize I'm in a trade that's lost momentum and I'm potentially going to be rolled or reversed, am I able to do that if my analysis was wrong? You know, those sorts of things. They're little things that I'm working on. But again, performance anxiety, I really think it's time in the saddle. You've got to be prepared to, you know, my strategy is simple. I built it around certain times of days because I can duplicate that. I know that the market's going to move. I know the pre-market can set up for a trap or a trade. The first hour can be a trap or a trade. But I'm looking for simple setups with momentum or consolidation. It's very straightforward. You know, one of the things that I did, and I talked about this in my playbook, I've gone back through years of charts and just picked out the highest best trades and looked at the setups and how they built in. And I want to focus on simple stuff. I'm not trying to trade the market every single day in terms of my bread and butter trades, but I am learning from it every single day, and there's a difference. But cutting my teeth on it every day helped me learn, and also learn when not to trade. So hopefully you got some value from today's video, traders. Performance anxiety, I think you have to hammer that through the school of hard knocks, and just in terms of going through and creating your own checklist, but knowing what your best trade setups are, being willing to sit on the sidelines and just wait for, like Jim Rogers said, wait for the money to be laying over in the corner for you to just go over and pick it up. So stay disciplined, stay focused, keep getting better, traders. Hammer your skills, bulletproof your mindset, put the miles in the saddle, and may the markets go with you.
Hi traders, it's Stacey Burke from Stacey Burke Trading. If you haven't done so, please head over to my website at staceyburketrading.com. I create updates on almost a daily basis, and I would love for you to receive them. Just click on the blog. If you want to enter your name and your email address, I'll send you my free audio program, the 7-Step Daily Routine for High Performance Traders. This is essential knowledge for all traders in all markets, and this is for helping traders to master the market with discipline, confidence, and a winning mindset. I appreciate all your feedback and comments. As always, traders, stay disciplined, and may the markets go with you.